Can I interest you in an Altoid? They're
Maybe
curiously strong.
Tomorrow.
Hi. Hi, Scotty.
Hi, Rico.
Hi, people. There's people here.
I love Rico. I love how you're telling me how it's gonna go. You act like I've never watched a Focus on. Ever since I got on YouTube, I don't think I've missed a single one, either live or on the replay.
Well, thank you, and hopefully you got something out of them.
Absolutely, I love them.
I do too. I really enjoy them. They're very selfish for me because I get to learn so much about all you amazing people in our community. And some people are just friends, and other people I'm fans of. So, regardless, I'm very happy to do these. So, real quick, hi everybody. First off, the whole first part of the conversation, whole first part of the stream, Scotty and I, we're just going to be talking. We're not going to be looking at the chat. If mods, if you see somebody asking questions and stuff or saying hi, just maybe throw up a reminder every once in a while saying, hey, they're not looking at the chat yet, but we will the second half. The other thing is Scotty has all kinds of cool stuff to tell us about the Clash, but he can't tell us yet.
Studies available on Prolific.
Oh, did you hear that?
Oh.
There's robots here. My MedCal, congrats on the stool. That's a good joke. It's all right. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. If you are over on the Facebook side, come over and join us on the YouTube side. It's so much better over here. It's way better over on the YouTube side. That's where all the cool kids are. So I do see a couple people over there on Facebook, but come join us over here on YouTube. It's better. All right, Scotty, hi.
Hi.
First of all, for anybody who doesn't know, a couple of quick things about Scotty. He is and I'm sure everybody in here knows it, but just in case, he is the chairperson of the board for the Keystone Clash, the amazing event that's held in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, the end of September every year, or not the end, but around the 25th, 23rd, around that time period. What is it, the third weekend of the month? Or is that the last weekend?
It's the last full weekend.
Gotcha.
It's usually when we try to do it.
And if you have not been to a fish event, go to the Keystone Clash, especially if things work out the way they sound like they're going to, because this next year it is going to blow up. You should get your tickets now. They're not on sale, but you should get your hotel booked now because, wow. It is going to be just amazing. So anyways, let's jump in. Scotty, you live in Maryland. Delaware. Why do I always get those two confused? They're not anything alike.
No, that's where Myrtle lives, not me.
You have crab cakes, and what's Delaware known for besides being small?
Having me.
That's a good, yes. That's what it's
That's about
for.
it.
Scotty does know. What's that? I'm sorry?
It's the first state.
Delaware was the first state?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I would have assumed it would have been, farther up, like Vermont or something.
Nope.
Maine.
Delaware is the first state. What else?
It's the Diamond State.
It is the Diamond State. It's. I don't think it's the smallest. I think. What is it? Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. You're right. You're right. Rhode Island is the smallest. And what did we learn? It was called the Diamond State because Thomas Jefferson decided it was a gem, and so that's where it got its name from.
Really? I did not know that, actually.
It's not for diamonds, but it's a gem of a state.
Yeah, far from it.
Jeremy says Delaware has a beach, no sales tax, and crappy water. All right, that's enough of the chat. You know what? I'm minimizing the chat. I can't even see it. Can't even see it now. Full screen. There we go. So have you you lived in Delaware your entire life? You're Delaware born and raised?
All except for 1 year. I lived in an apartment next to a firehouse I was with in Pennsylvania. just over the state line though.
Okay, gotcha. And you're not far. How far away from Morgantown are you? It's like a 2-hour drive.
Hour.
Yeah. So it's
about
Pennsylvania
an hour.
light.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of Amish people in Delaware?
No, not at all. There
Which is
may
weird.
be a couple in the very, or not the very southern. There's 3 counties in Delaware: Kent, Sussex, and Newcastle. I'm in Newcastle, which is the furthest north. Sussex is the furthest south, where all the beaches are, and Kent County, I think, might have some Amish people.
Okay. Because just Pennsylvania has so many, and
yeah, it's the Amish really don't start until it's about an hour away into Pennsylvania.
There's like a line. They don't live on the other side of the line very much.
Yes.
And you only lived in Pennsylvania because you were you volunteered at that fire department, or?
And I was actually getting paid as well.
Okay.
And it's a fire, or the apartment was literally on the edge of the property line of the firehouse. Actually there was no parking on the property. I had to park on the firehouse property.
Gotcha.
So.
And you are a volunteer fireman right now, or?
Yes. So I have been in the volunteer fire service for 22 years, I believe it is now.
Wow.
And something like that. I always forget. So 21, 22. Actually, this is my anniversary week.
Wow. Well, congratulations. So 20.
I don't know what year. I forget what year I joined.
Okay. But this is the anniversary.
It's either 21, 22, or 23.
Gotcha.
Somewhere around there. But this October, maybe it was last week. Yeah, last week would have been it, now that I think about it. So, yes, it just happened. But yeah, I joined when I was 15. So if somebody wants to do the math, that will answer it.
We'd have to know how old you are now.
37. Turned 37 in September. So whatever
22.
that adds up to. Yeah, there we go. I joined as a junior firefighter at my local volunteer firehouse when I was 15. 17 going into 18, I got my EMT, emergency medical technician certification. And that started my career paid service, because I had my EMT certification. First, I did just EMS. And then after I got a little bit of experience under my belt, I started doing it as a firefighter EMT. Part-time, then full-time, continued part-time until I probably stopped being a paid firefighter 6 years ago, maybe? No.
Now, did that...
8 years
what
ago.
made you get into it when you were 15? Did you have family that were involved, or what?
I love fire trucks. I didn't have a driver's license. I was rode a bicycle all around and loved seeing the fire trucks. So I was riding my bike past and I saw him outside. I went to start to talk to him, and I was hooked for life. And
nice.
Then
that's wholesome.
So,
that's such a wholesome story.
Yes. About, was it 8 years ago, we'll say, approximately, I had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. Ooh. And that put an end to my firefighting interior.
I'm so sorry. Let me turn this down.
My interior firefighting career, because without knowing exactly what caused the heart attack and stuff like that, it was just not safe to go interior. So I continued volunteering, doing exterior firefighting, and I continued doing EMS work until right before COVID. I stopped doing it as a paid person altogether, and I didn't feel I was really being beneficial or helpful being an exterior firefighter, because that's what a lot of the brand new junior members and probationary members do, and all the old people. And while I had a heart attack and felt very old, I didn't feel old.
Yeah.
So I switched to doing what's called fire police work. in which I am responsible for traffic control at any emergency scene, crowd control at any emergency scene. I am actually a sworn officer by the local judge. I do technically have power to carry and detain. Not going to happen. Our safety comes first. That's why the people with the guns and handcuffs get paid the big money. But I actually respond in my own vehicle. I'm issued emergency lighting and equipment, and a whole bunch of traffic control equipment. And I go to scenes and create detours, shut down highways, interstates, and usually we don't have to really do crowd control, but if we need to, that falls under mine as well. And that's what I do now. I do fire police work. And then I do one of my part-time jobs. I am security and EMT, but very seldomly do I need to do EMS.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's usually more about kicking kids off of the underpass area.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and it's for an aquarium?
Yes, I am a safety supervisor for a local aquarium as my full-time career, and it's insane. It is absolutely insane.
Really? You wouldn't think so.
No 2 days are like, or no day is like one another. It is different every day. Today, I didn't even really get to walk the floor whatsoever because I was too busy doing pre-planning for a big insurance inspection that's coming up. I just got done a major safety audit from a third-party company that the corporation that owns us pays lots of money to have done. Thursday, I'm going to be on safety standby, because they're doing a 75% water change on a over 30,000 gallon exhibit. And at the same time, they're trimming stingray barbs and moving stingrays. So I'm on standby for that. Last month, they had a thick shark and they had to go scuba diving into a 750,000 gallon exhibit to catch a shark with a net.
So what if somebody gets Irwined? What do you do?
I'm there for them.
I mean, pull out the barb and...
But they are, no, so it would be, it's more of a sting. So you hold the body part under hot water, as hot as they can tolerate, until EMS gets there.
Oh,
and then we have a whole packet of documents that we send with the ambulance for the doctors, because most doctors don't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah. It's not like it's, I mean, it's not that common around there. No. Real quick, Bex, thank you so much. Scotty is amazing. Woo made you look with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I had to get that before it went away because I'm only looking at the StreamYard side, so I'm missing anything else.
I'm not even looking at that because I didn't want to be distracted.
Good. Don't be. Yeah, they'll be fine by themselves for a little bit. Yeah. Okay. she threw me off. Bex threw me off. So we learned about how you got into the firefighting stuff. You just liked it. And most of the time, this is all volunteer fire departments too around us. The captain is usually the only paid, and it's all volunteer. And it's usually family. Family brought them in. Yes. But
there's actually another Schmidt at my firehouse. And we are not related as far as we know.
Relations.
No relations.
So that firehouse is just full of Schmidt.
Yes. All right. That's putting it nicely. Nice.
And do you see yourself doing this this is it? Is there something you want to do different? Are you happy with being at the
aquarium? No. My dream is to find a rich woman, and I'll be a stay-at-home dad taking care of my fish.
Okay.
And I'll work part-time at the aquarium.
I know there's a crow lady out there. She's not single, but I mean, the caw might work, you know.
Jesus. I might
Had to
have
throw
another,
that in there.
I might have another heart attack.
You know, we had to throw that in there.
Of course.
At 48 people watching, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. Again, we don't look at the chat at all for this first part. We're just gonna have a conversation. But if you have questions for Scotty, make sure you keep them for the second part. We'll open it up. Okay, well, let's shift gears a little bit. So you've lived in that area, even in Pennsylvania, but I mean, you lived in that area your entire life.
10 minutes. I was 10 minutes over the state line.
Yeah. So really the same area.
Oh yeah. Right now I can be in Pennsylvania in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm right on the edge.
Have you thought about living other places? Have you visited a lot of other places? Is there someplace you'd want to go?
I really like the looks and sounds of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Just looking at the cost of properties and homes right now, I rent. I want to buy a house. It needs to happen really soon. I'm really, 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 really close. Literally like 1 point on my credit away. And then I just got to save up $1,000 and I'll be set. But looking at the cost of homes here in Delaware and over the state line in Pennsylvania and Jersey, and comparing what I could get here compared to what I would get in Tennessee, it's calling my name. And they have fish clubs in Tennessee and an aquarium in Tennessee. The company that owns my aquarium owns properties in Tennessee and Kentucky. So that looks promising. But most of my life is here in this area, in the tri-state area. Parts of Pennsylvania look really tempting as well. It sucks. It's very it's stressful for me because I really don't, buying a house is a big investment. It's a big life-changing thing, and I really don't know where I want to live.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something a lot of people do flip houses or they live in a place for 10 years and then they move on, and I can't do that.
No.
We've had 2 houses, and I'm pretty old, and we've had 2 houses all that time, one in Arizona and one here in New York. And moving is a bitch, and I don't want to do it because I'm lazy, but also I put down roots,
exactly.
I love where I live. And if it's not, and there's not really a lot of other stuff keeping you there as well. Like you've got family in the area and stuff, but
right. Yeah, but
there's not a lot keeping you in the area.
Yeah, I'm not close with the family. My family is really a big part of my going back about a year or two. The firehouse families were my family. I had friends in the firehouse, in the fire service, that were closer than any of my family.
I get that.
And I would go to their homes. I was close with their families, have holiday dinners together.
Yeah.
One of them literally saved my life when I was having a heart attack. And, it's when I had my own landscaping business, they were a huge help with that, in making business decisions and getting work, getting employees, et cetera, et cetera. Since I'm not as active in the fire service as I was, when I was a paid firefighter, I was still an active volunteer at not one, but 2 different firehouses, that are a lot busier. I talked to Skipper about, their call volume and stuff like that. And just the other day I was letting him know, like, my one firehouse does 1,000 fire calls a year and close to 3,000 ambulance calls a year. And my other firehouse that I was a part of did even more than that. And I'd venture to say, I can't even remember where you live in New York, but I'd venture to say your local fire department probably does 100 to 200 fire calls a year.
Maybe if even that,
right.
The little town we live in has less than 1,500 people. So the little village,
exactly.
So
it's a very busy firehouse, and I was working full time at a firehouse and volunteering, and I was in the top 10 almost every year.
So what you're telling me is Delaware is a very dangerous place.
Yes.
It's very flammable.
Yes.
Somebody like myself, that I'd walk there and just probably burst into flame.
Yes, or get in a car accident because people don't know how to drive.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we do a lot of rescue work. We do more rescue work than we do fire work.
Oh, okay.
In this area.
Okay. What about wintertime? Is it your winters? They're more mild than ours, but
yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
We get I was telling Bex about this the other day. We probably get one snowstorm that's over 6 inches a year. A handful that are 4 to 6 inches, a handful that are 2 to 4 inches. I probably shouldn't say those things all together.
No, you shouldn't. But because in my mind, I was already putting the jokes together.
I know, Nico.
Back to what you said about the firehouse. Hey, Chris Biggs is in Facebook. Chris, come over to the YouTube side, man. Wayne
Chris
and Garth
Biggs is
talk
awesome.
very highly of Delaware, and your winters are cute. You know where he lives up there in the
Yes.
western part of Canada, Alberta, right?
I think he said he already has snow.
Yeah, he said the troughs, the animal troughs, were already iced over and stuff.
Yeah.
Back to what you said, I thought that was important. What you said about family. Family's where you find it. You found it in the firehouse.
Yeah. And I can honestly say, and not just because I'm on stream and with you right now, but the Fishfam has really taken the place of my firehouse family. I am closer with Fishfam people than I am my own family for sure, and the firehouse family. I still have a couple people that I am close with in the fire service, but as I am doing less and less over time, it's like I said, I stopped being an interior firefighter and a paid firefighter when I had my heart attack. And they were 100% supportive during that whole recovery process. But even after that, I just slowly, not being able to go inside a building and fight a fire takes all the fun out of it. It really does. It really does.
That's. It's a horrible thing to say, but I understand where you're coming from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the family thing is important. I've always said that too, because I just like you, I'm not super close with my family. Right. I have my wife and kids that obviously I'm very, very close with, but same thing. That's just another thing we have in common. Not super close with my family, and this is my family here. A lot of these people here, the people that I've hung out with. And again, another little plug for the Keystone Clash. That has just really, that event has really helped congeal.
I gained an evil devil little sister at the Keystone Clash.
Kaka!
Yeah.
You got to do it once. We'll see. We'll try and get you to do it once.
Yeah.
And do you remember the first time we met at the Clash?
Do I remember? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Give me some. Be honest.
This was before I was in the Fishfam.
Yes.
And I don't know that I'd watched any. No, I had to have watched YouTube videos. I watched YouTube videos, but not very many at all, and I don't remember who they were. Probably Dave Ramsey. I watched a few of his. Probably Biggs and Joey DIY.
Okay.
And at the time, that was probably it. And I didn't really understand all of the streaming and because their videos are not like ours, for lack of better. And I saw fire calls. So I remember you first walking around the fish show, which was in the bistro, the breakfast room.
Yep.
With your little camera gimbal tripod thingy mabobber doober, and taking videos. That's the first part I remember. I do remember at the time getting you mixed up with the gentleman in the kilt.
Oh, really? He was there last year too? I don't remember him being there last year. Are you sure you didn't get me confused with Bruiser?
No.
Bruiser CB, because he was actually wearing my shirt. He also has very long hair, longer beard. He's a much handsomer man, but
or let me phrase that. The guy in the kilt was not there last year.
Oh, but you knew him
from previous years, and I thought you were him.
Okay.
Yeah. And
that
then,
kilt guy.
Yes. I know, right? Next year you should wear a kilt. And then
next year I'm just going to go up to him and shave his head, and then we won't have to worry about it. Anyways.
And then I remember you wanting to interview me. I'm like, what? No, hell no, not happening.
You didn't look scared, but you looked trepidatious. No, you looked a little worried. You know, who is this guy? And you were like, no. Callie, go see Callie. I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
Because, like I was like, is this like a news interview or what is this? And Callie was in charge of anything marketing, so I was like, perfect, you're Callie, yep, right there. For her thing.
Yeah, I just remember that, and then I remember it wasn't too much longer after that. After you talked to Skipper quite a bit, and he sort of cued you in a little bit onto what the Fishfam was all about and stuff, and then Skipper, all of a sudden I started seeing you in streams, chatting in streams, and then now you're streaming yourself, and you're right.
It's over.
We got you. You're stuck here.
Skipper showed up. We put a request out on Facebook, I guess it was, looking for help to load up the U-Haul at Mike's shop before the event. And he showed up out of nowhere. Like, he messaged me on Facebook, had no clue who this guy was, and he showed up out of nowhere to help load. And I'm like, okay, you drove how far? Wait a second. What? No way.
And now he's a part of the committee.
He was a YouTuber or anything. I have no clue.
Now he's a big part of the Keystone Clash, right? He's a part of the committee this year, and
Skipper is part of the senior admin committee.
There you go.
Which is the highest of the committees for the Clash, and really it's a big change for the Clash having someone that's not a part of the local clubs being on that committee. It's a first. It's a first.
Yeah.
But we felt it was needed, and the amount of work that he put in the last 2 years is amazing. Was
warranted to put him on there too.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what Skipper does. I mean, that's who he is.
He's a helper. We also felt the need to have a liaison between the Fishfam and the Clash, and the YouTube world and the Clash. And it was we had that job opening, for lack of better terms, because we wanted to take it off my plate, and we had that job, and at the same time we had this person we wanted to add on, and it was a perfect mesh.
Gotcha. Well, again, very, very warranted for Skipper, and I'm happy for him, even though it's putting more work on his plate and stuff. But
he'll be okay.
You know, it's definitely a good fit for him, and I think it's going to help both groups a little bit. Although you guys did so good by us this year, you did. I mean, I have no complaints whatsoever at all. I mean, you guys treated us like royalty, so we, really appreciative of that. Everybody that I've talked to said the same thing, that you guys are very welcoming. So, all right, sorry, I didn't mean to get too much into that, but I just I am super excited about the Clash. I consider it my event. It's the event that I go to. It's, what I mean? So I want you guys to succeed. I want to try and help. I want to push it. I want to do all I can to do my part.
Absolutely.
And again, I just wish you could tell people about what's, because it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So, all right. So let's put that away. And let's shift gears a little bit. So it doesn't sound like you have a lot of spare time, but in your spare time, besides fish, what type of things do you like to do? You're not into technology. I know that you're not a video gamer. Technology is not your friend.
No,
what kind of stuff do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
Well, the firehouse. I when I'm off and have nothing to do with these 30, 40 aquariums in front of me, I like to go and sit in the firehouse and hang out with friends. Go to friends' houses. A lot. We'll play cards, drink. That's always a good time. Fantasy football. I enjoy that a lot. My a group that it started from the firehouse, but there's less and less firefighters a part of it now. But we do a live draft where this one guy has a basement with a bar and a huge whiteboard that is just for fantasy football, and we'll do a live draft. We'll drink, and then we'll play cards afterwards.
And drink.
And drink.
And who's your team? I don't even know who your football team is.
Mighty Minions.
No, I meant the real one.
Oh.
Minions? Is Disney?
Mighty Minions. We are mighty.
And minionish.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I really don't have any sports team that I consider my team. Because I don't follow teams. I follow the sport. I like to sit and watch a good game, especially football, followed by baseball. And then I really do enjoy going to a hockey game too. I've only been to 2 or 3 in my life. I've never been to a football game, and I have been to plenty of baseball games. But like sitting watching TV, not at home, everybody knows that. But like sitting at the firehouse or going to a restaurant or a bar or going to a friend's and watching a good football game on the TV, I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, gotcha. I don't know too many people like that are especially NFL fans. They're mostly very myself. Now I used to be an American football fan. I just loved the sport, loved everything, follow the players on all the different teams, really, not so much. I don't have the time these days. Well, I do, but I just don't. So I consider myself more of a Chicago Bears fan than a football fan. I really just follow my team.
Yeah.
So you don't see too many people like that.
I admire the local teams, especially the Flyers. The Flyers are pretty darn good for hockey. Phillies are doing good, sometimes they really disappoint though, but they're doing good again. Big game tonight.
Not the Eagles.
It's.
I mean, they threw ice balls at Santa Claus.
Right. And I really don't think I'm on 4 fantasy football leagues, and I don't think I have an Eagle on any of them on purpose.
Gotcha.
So. But they are. I think they're 6-0 right now.
The Phillies?
No, the Eagles.
Oh, really? I thought they were. I don't know. Again, I'm out of the loop. I actually we're gonna get too much into it. We'll start losing people. I know a lot of our community doesn't care for sports ball of any sort. So I get it.
What else do I do? I do enjoy to travel. I don't fly, but I do love to travel. One of my best trips was going to Nashville. It was when I had the landscaping business. I went with another group from the firehouse that had a landscaping business with them, and I worked for them part-time as well. And we went to Louisville, Kentucky for a landscaping conference. And while there, saw Colt Ford live in concert. He was playing at the event, which was
is that country music?
Yes, okay. Country music. It was absolutely amazing. And then from there, I went to Nashville, and I was only there for 2 nights, I believe, if I remember correctly. But absolutely amazing. After I buy a house, I do want to go back for sure. Another big trip I went to. Go ahead.
That was going to be my next question. Was out of places you've traveled. You seem to be really into Tennessee. You really just like the area, right?
It was amazing. Absolutely.
Every place you've ever been, Tennessee, your favorite then?
Yes. Just it's a mixture of relaxing, fun, music, drinking, restaurants, good food. I love to eat. Country women everywhere. It was a good time.
Country women.
It was a good time.
Country women. I mean, do you mean like rural women or like cowgirls, or like
yes.
when you say country women, it just makes me think of you got a real pretty mouth. Kind of. Okay.
All the above.
Okay.
And then my one of my next favorites was Jekyll Island at the Georgia-Florida state line, and it's a beautiful island, and that was right after my heart attack. I got to go there, and it was relaxing. There's nothing to do there, but you go out the back door of the hotel and cross over a 100-foot wooden pedestrian bridge, and you're on a beach, and beautiful clean water, no noise whatsoever. It's a little tiny island, and it was amazing.
Gotcha.
The ride there sucked though.
Yeah.
But my more local favorite place to go is the Poconos.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania, and I used to go there all the time. There was a Firehouse family that was older in their 80s who owned a property there, and they at first, when they first bought it, they rented it out, and then as they got older, they only rented it to emergency services personnel. Then they only rented to the Firehouse people, and then after that, they were like, nope, we're only letting a few friends go there here and there. And then they said, as they got older and older, they said, okay, you can go whenever you want. And pointing to me, you go take care of the property. You don't pay. You go whenever you want for however long you want. Just take care of our property. Well, I had a landscaping business. That's a piece of cake for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they passed away, so I lost that. But
gotcha.
They were amazing people. So I've only been there once since then, and I couldn't stay at the same place. I had to stay in a little motel, but I still love it. I do want to go back, but I'm trying to save money, so to buy a house.
Well, a few people have asked me to put up a little mini house here on the property and do like a little Airbnb. So
yeah,
maybe you can. You were talking about quiet and peaceful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it's all about here. So
if your neighbor drives on your lawn, can I shoot him with a paintball gun?
Paintball?
I guess up there you could use other.
They don't do that anymore. We solved all those issues. Okay, so travel's a big part of what you like to do, and really, I don't see my buddy Ed. I know he was busy this afternoon, but he would be proud to hear that you like Tennessee so much, since that's his adopted home. And there is a lot of, for the population of Tennessee, they really are well represented in our community. There really is a lot of them.
Yes.
Because it's not a super populous state compared to, a lot of other places. They like their fish.
Yes.
So, okay. Let's talk about some other stuff. Let's see what can be next. We talked about where you lived. We talked about your hobbies. We talked about, okay. What's your favorite tree nut?
Tree nut?
Yes.
Not the kind you put on pizza.
What?
When we go back and in the second half and look at chat, you'll see why I just said that.
Okay.
All right,
because I've never had, maybe pine nuts or something, pinions. But
correct.
If the answer's not cashews, it's wrong. So
correct.
Actually, I don't have anything else. I'm trying to, we've talked so much, and I do feel like I know you. We've gotten to be pretty good friends over the last year, and we've talked quite a bit. I have no other questions to ask, which is weird because usually I have all kinds of stuff to follow up on and to talk about.
I think while you've only asked a select few, I think I covered most of the other ones you normally do ask in the conversation.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's let's open this up. Let me get this all set up again. And now is a good time. If you have questions for Scotty, and Scotty, feel free. You don't have to wait for me. If you see a question in the chat that you want to answer, feel free. Jump right onto it.
So, Rico, at 7:40 p.m., you'll see the result of the nuts on the pizza.
Yeah, but that seems like a whole different type of thing.
Yeah. All right, let me go back up to the top here.
We should start right there at 7:40, like you said. So if anybody has questions for Scotty, now's the time to ask them. There shouldn't be any questions though, because they weren't supposed to. If they broke the rules.
So I do have to ignore them?
No. If you see something, feel free.
All right, I'll do
even if it's just a comment, anything you see, feel free.
All right.
Jump on it.
I'm curious what everyone. It was killing me not looking at chat. I don't know how you do it.
Annette wants to know. I know I don't like it either. My whole thing is involving the chat. The only reason we do this is because of everybody. So it is difficult. But if I did that, we would never get the questions. We'd never get through things. So it's the only way to really do it. Annette has a very important question, and and she even labels it that way. Most important question: what does a crow sound like, Scotty?
Meow.
Yeah.
Mark wants to know if you've set a date for the 2024 Clash yet. Not even a
2020.
Yeah, 2024, because he wants to come from Australia and be there.
It's interesting because we normally always do the last full weekend of September, but Alishon, that's his anniversary. And we want him to be able to come and have a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're investigating. But we also don't want to, do it the same time as Chicago Aquashella, Fishtoberfest. I'm a firm believer that, we all need to work together and coordinate and not do it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, because it would definitely help everybody. Because even though Aquashella is huge, there's still going to be some people who decide to go to the Clash over Aquashella. So it's still going to hurt them a little bit.
People that would go to Aquashella went to Fishtoberfest.
Yeah.
And the other way around as well, Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely don't know the dates for 2024, but it's either going to be the same weekend or close to it.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking for the @Rico stands that pop out for me, and I'll feed you those questions. But again, if you see something you want to talk about, jump in. Feel free. What's your
top, and you let me know if you get anything at the bottom.
Well, what is Scotty's favorite sandwich?
Chicken parm.
In a sandwich.
Yep, chicken parm sandwich. Love it.
I don't know that I've ever had that.
Really?
I've had chicken parm, but not a chicken parm sandwich.
Did you know today I realized that I've never had a caramel apple?
Never.
I like caramel. I'm not a huge apple fan, but I'll definitely eat apple, absolutely. But I love caramel, but I've never had them together.
I haven't had one in the last week. This here's apple country. I feel like Chuck Norris gives Scotty a wide berth. Kyle says.
Say what?
I said Scotty said that. I meant Kyle says that. I feel like Chuck Norris gives Scotty a wide berth.
Wide berth? I don't get it.
Chuck Norris leaves you alone. He stays away from you.
Oh.
Remember all this? You probably don't remember all the Chuck Norris stuff that happened a few years ago, do you?
No, I used to watch Chuck Norris.
Well, on the internet, Chuck Norris did everything, and people would say, you know, the
Yes,
dark is afraid of Chuck Norris, and
yes,
yeah, all that stuff.
I do remember that. I do remember that. Here's a little fact for you. When I was even a littler guy, just because I can't say when I was a little guy because I know I'll get a bunch of crap for that. But when I was a younger lad, I actually did karate. I did 3 different types of karate, and an orange belt was always it. There was something about it that once I got to an orange belt, I quit for some reason. So I did.
Just had to get to the orange. It was the closest. Is there such thing as a red belt?
Oh yeah. It goes.
I have no idea.
Red, purple, brown, black was all above it. But when I got to an orange belt, I always quit. And it was 3 different types of karate, 3 different studios.
You just felt like that was good. The orange is all you needed.
That was it. And Chuck Norris was my idol at the time.
Gotcha.
What do you think of it?
And roughly how old were you then?
I did that up until I was about 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I started young and until I was 14. So at least I would say at least 8 years.
Wow. That's the kind of stuff I like to hear. That's the kind of stuff, you know, those little nuggets like that. That's the kind of stuff I like to learn.
He said nugget. Yeah.
Nugget. And we've got 2 more. Ask Scotty what a crow sounds like again. Can Scotty please impersonate a crow call? I didn't catch the first one. This crow thing is getting out of control here. Can Scotty go over the crow sound? The Myrtle question. Okay, that's been a while. And Myrtle could not make it tonight. He came in early and just said he's on his way to class and stuff. And thank you, Mark Strolson. So do you remember what the Myrtle question is?
What would I change about you? What would you change about me?
There you go.
All right. I have 1, 2. I have a few. I've been thinking about this all day today.
Wow. I have not. So I have 1, but you go first.
To put it together, I would say I wish that you could be coming to the Clash since the beginning. Going to the Clash, I guess would be the proper term. So the Clash has been around for 8 years, I think it is, 6 or 8, and I wish from the get-go, even before I started, I've only been a part of it for 4 years, or going to it for 4 years, but knowing how much you enjoy it and how close it geographically it is, and how you aren't able to get to others' events. I wish you could go even before the Fishfam, but being a hobbyist, going to that event.
Nice. Hopefully I will go the next 8 years to make up for it.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, what's next? I'll let you do all 3.
No, I'm not doing all 3.
Okay, just the one.
Yeah,
that's the best one. That's the best one. That's the best you got.
That is the best one.
Mine is that your health issues recede and you continue to get better, and it's something that you won't have to even think about in the future, because I get it. Yeah. Those types of things help mold us and form us and make us who we are, but at the same time they also restrict us a lot of ways. So I wish that you've already experienced it. I don't want you to not have to experience it because you made it through, but I want you to continue to get better.
So while I did get roto-rooted and some new pipes put in, both got done, which will make me good for another 30 years, hopefully, knock on wood. I will always have to have additional doctor's appointments and take more medicine than a 90-year-old for the rest of my life. So,
gotcha.
But as long as it works, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
What? Am I missing something else? Why am I hearing a siren? That's interesting. Nope.
You don't smell smoke, do you?
Nope, not today. I stopped cooking. And but I will say my cardiologist appointment last month, the nurse and the tech said that I'm boring because I had no health issues to complain about and nothing for them to do, and the cardiologist was overly happy.
Good.
He said I lost 10 pounds. I didn't tell him it was because I just ran the Keystone Clash. That's really the only reason.
We got to play that real quick. I got to find it though, so it's going to take me a minute. Can you want to just sort of look through the chat a little bit?
Yep,
I got to remember. I got to remember where the hell it's at.
Let's see here. What's going on? Let's see here. PA collected all the Amish close to the coast. They wanted cheap quality sheds, and did they succeed? Yes, the Amish has great workmanship, great work ethic. That they do great work. They really do.
We around here we also look for Amish or even Mennonites to do a lot of the maybe not as much detail work, but new roofs, just all that kind of stuff.
Let's see here. Steven's having pork chops. Dolbeck Aqua Designs likes my Nemo. Nemo is just staring into my soul.
Oh crap!
This Nemo was a gift from my early adulthood times when I was around 20, 21 years old. Had a very serious relationship, and I think I gave her everything else back that she ever got me, but I kept the Nemo. Dee Dee had veggie burgers. Let's see here.
Here it is. Here it is. Sorry, that took me quite a while. All right, we got to share this real quick. And I have a sneeze, so.
Oh, good timing. There it is. And I can no longer find that on Facebook, and I wish, because it's just appropriate for so many comments, especially those made by Annette.
It is on the Discord server.
Yes.
So you can always save it there, and
I can, even with an Apple.
Yeah, I'm sure you can even download it to your phone instead of just the link. You can download it to your phone and then keep it there. But absolutely love that. And of course, that's the end of the new intro for Streamy McStreamy.
Yes.
So
I almost slipped and said it before they released it and got yelled at.
The sneeze is like right here.
I hate it when that happens. Jeremy says he wants to work at an aquarium. They want degrees or you to sell food. I do not have a college degree. Now, granted, most of my certifications in the fire service are eligible for college credits. I do not have a college degree. That's another thing I can actually say that something I'm a little proud of that I'll share is I am probably in the top 5 highest trained members in my firehouse in history.
Wow.
I obviously started as a junior and got all my training there, but I continued on and up to a national certified fire instructor. Pro board instructor 2.
So you can actually train other people then, is what you're saying?
Yeah, which I used to. I used to be an instructor at the fire academy, and then before working here at the aquarium, I was a full-time safety instructor for 3 years.
Oh, gotcha.
And all of that together allowed me to get this job.
Very cool. Well, congratulations on that. That is something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Nano Aquarium guy said, is Scotty interested in going to other fish events?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to. But it is challenging to be able to take an extended amount of time off multiple times a year. It's a lot easier to take. I take for the Keystone Clash. For the Clash, I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days off the week of, and a couple extended weekends earlier in the month. I hardly work at all in September. And, I could take days off here and there, but it's hard for me to be away from the aquarium for an extended period of time, multiple times a year.
Gotcha.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
And since I don't fly, I would have to take extra time off to drive there. Now, if there was a quick, easy train ride that I could go from like Delaware to Dallas or Chicago, I would love to do that.
I bet you there is, because I know I've taken the train from Chicago to Buffalo. So I got to imagine there's got to be something not too much farther that way.
Did you have to transfer a bunch of times?
No, straight through. Yeah, straight through.
Yeah, I would love to.
How many tanks does Scotty have? Blessed with Pets would like to know.
Do you consider a shoebox container full of water a tank?
Is there anything alive in it? Plants or fish?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As long as there's fish alive in it, then we'll count it. I'm laughing at some of the comments in the chat. And again, hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Still 54 people watching. Thanks so much. We'll probably go until 9 o'clock. At 8:30, I know there's other streams going right now. There will be other streams later. 8:30, Scruffy City goes. 9 o'clock, of course, you've got Bentley. And Eric Furlow is doing a stream at 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights now, too. So just a quick one.
About 34, we'll say.
About 34.
Yeah. There could be some hidden.
Next up is from Steven. What is the most rewarding part of working at the aquarium?
Oh. Like in a selfish, personal way?
Yeah, or whatever. I mean, whatever is the most, however you feel is the most rewarding.
Because of what I'm responsible for, what I do, and how I do it, and my training, it is from the employees that are there now, who have experienced previous safety supervisors before. I get the impression, and get told it for sure, that they feel a lot more comfortable and safer having me there because of my attention to safety, being vigilant, increasing the safety culture. They all have, many people there have said that I've done that. So they, even though there are state troopers in the building anytime we're open, and I'm responsible for the security stuff, so we have a whole security team. They all say that that they feel more comfortable, safer having me there, and that they operate in a safer manner as well, which that's pretty awesome. I like that. Yeah. It's rewarding. When I have a stressful day, what I usually do, if I'm able to, is I go and walk around the aquarium, and I get paid good money to do it. And it's very relaxing, and it's me doing my job because I'm doing a safety audit.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty awesome as well.
That is pretty cool. That is definitely a perk of the job for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Annette wants to know what your favorite color of glitter is.
Well, I'm still finding it. Gold.
Gold.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's all in my vacuum.
All right. This is a good one. If you had the choice between eating a peanut butter oatmeal cookie or giving up all his fish, what would he choose?
Is that from Jenna?
It's from Bex.
Oh. I'll eat an oatmeal cookie. I just gotta have a good chaser.
Do you like oatmeal at all?
No.
Okay.
I feed it to my microworms.
That's what I had for lunch today. I had cinnamon oatmeal. It was really good.
That's great. Scruffy City joined us right when I was talking about Tennessee again.
He knows Tennessee well.
Yes, he does.
Eric Wyrock would like you to pronounce the words can without the N.
What a jerk.
Crystal says, thank you both for everything. Do either of you have a hang-on back filter you love and recommend? This Marineland double-sided bio-wheel filter sucks. You know, I don't mind the Marineland ones, but the bio-wheel thing, I just take out. I just get rid of those. I think that's just a weird gimmick. Otherwise, I like the Marinelands.
When I first had one of my first big tank, well, it was probably my second or third tank I had, was a 125 gallon. Freshwater is what it started as. And I ran 2 Emperor 400s on it, which are the Marineland bio wheels. And then I actually ran them on my saltwater tank. I converted the 125 to salt. I just kept the same filter on there. And then I ended up actually taking out the filter pads and just leaving the bio wheel, and that's it. I put rubble live rock in where the filter pads went.
Oh, gotcha.
And ran that as a filter. I don't have any hang on the backs anymore.
Most of mine are Marinelands, and I don't use the cartridges. I just use the really coarse, not sponge, but the coarse media in there, and just take it out and clean it every couple of weeks, and they work fine. I like them. Now, of course, as many people have seen, my water's not pristine as far as particulates go. I have a ton of stuff in my water that way. But,
there's a lot in the ocean too, and the lakes.
What's that?
There's a lot in the ocean and the lakes too.
It doesn't bother me, except when you're trying to get videos, and I just know people are going, man, look at all the stuff in the water. That's the one thing. And even right now, I'm cleaning this one because I want to try and get some really good videos of the Denison barbs. So I do have, I've got a huge bag of the batten, the polyfill stuff, and so I just wrap the intake of the canister filter on that one, and it's little by little clean it up. Let's see. All right, so I'm looking for the at Rico stand stuff. So I've skipped a lot of stuff. I see Dee Dee coming in. I see a whole bunch of people came in. There's Skipper. What the hell is going on here? He says, we were saying all kinds of good stuff about you too, Skipper.
And your
coming in like that. Brookley Bell's question. She has her regular question. I love this too because
yes,
Myrtle.
I forgot about this one.
Myrtle has his question. Eric with the sandwich. That's a consistent one. Brookley, and I feel like there's another one I'm missing too. But do you remember what Brookley's is?
Yes, and I always give her a hard time about it too because that's how my mind works.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it today. I was mentally preparing for this, and I forgot about Brookley's question. I'm so sorry, Brookley. However, watching previous focus-ons, I always thought in my head, okay, when it's my turn, how am I going to answer it? I got the answer. I can turn my right foot all the way around with keeping my hips facing forward.
So one foot's this way and the other foot's this way.
Up, yep, and probably up against each other. Yeah. Yes. And my knee is probably just about forward as well.
So it's all in the lower ankle.
Yes. Big's other YouTube channel asked, how was the Clash this year? It was a great time. It was a lot bigger than the past. Big, since he's probably not here anymore, but compared to the year you attended, or the last time you attended, I should say, we are at a new venue. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot cleaner. And just an overall better experience. And I unfortunately don't have it in the budget this upcoming year to bring you in from Canada, but I'd love to talk to you about 2024. We've been thinking about you. You come up in conversation frequently, Biggs.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to hang out with him for the weekend and listen to the talks and stuff.
Oh yeah,
for sure. And again, I absolutely love the Clash. Clash was, to me, it was epic. It was fun. Last year was good. Last year was a great time. I made a lot of lifelong friends. This year, it just blew it away. Blew it away.
Alshon, what you know if
Fanaticals.
there's a
Go
Rico
ahead.
kilt going on Teespring?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I just feel like the kilt would be just too many bad things. I feel like would happen, and if my face was on there, I could be, Fanaticals. Hello. Wants to know what would be a fish you would love but couldn't afford or manage, because of size of tank or whatever.
Oh wow. I can't remember if it's a black tang or a gem tang. It's a saltwater fish. It looks just like the yellow tang but black, and they're extremely expensive, and I will not pay that kind of money for them.
Gotcha. Do you have any salt right now currently?
Yes.
Okay.
I have it's like a 30 or 40 breeder. Not a breeder. No, it's not a 40. It's probably a 30. And yeah, I don't have a filter on it. It is full of live rock and live sand, and what's it called? Macroalgae. And it has 2 power heads to move water, and that is it. I don't do water changes on it. I top off as needed, and it's got its own little ecosystem going. No maintenance at all. I have a yellow watchman goby in there, hermit crabs, and snails.
Nice.
I don't even feed it.
That sounds like my kind of tank.
I know. I love it. It's not the most visually appealing by any means, but the point of it is I want to keep the live rock in good condition because it's worth a lot of money. It's very old. And the yellow watchman goby. He's adorable.
This is a very good question. I like this one from Bex. What would Scotty consider the hardest part of putting together the Clash and the most rewarding aspect? Two-parter there.
Jeez. Why she got to be amazing at everything she does, including asking questions? The most rewarding is all the people having a good time, for sure. Just knowing that people have come there and had a good time, enjoyed it, vendors being successful, the smiles on the kids' faces during Give a Kid a Tank, the celebrations after the fish show during the awards ceremony, knowing that I'm taller than Fishfam if he weren't wearing boots.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's all rewarding. The most challenging would be the lack of volunteers. It is extremely upsetting to me that Mike Mole did not get to step foot in the auction, and I know he wanted to, and he wasn't able to because he was too busy working. So that's a tough part.
Well, maybe we can do something about that next year. I mean, it's difficult for me to do physical stuff, but maybe there's other stuff I can do. But maybe we can, talk about that throughout the early part of next year and try and get more volunteers to help out.
Yeah, I'm working on it. We've been doing a lot of brainstorming and coming up with ideas, and we're gonna try reaching out to local high schools and see if, like, during the setup and breakdown of the fish show aspect of it, if we can get some people that need some volunteer hours or something.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. That was a good one though. And Zen Ginger changed her question. I love what she did with it. Her question is, would Scotty rather fight 1,000 fires or run 1,000 clashes? Love it. Great.
Wow.
Good job, Zadie.
I fight 1,000 fires.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sounds like it'd be easier.
Yes. It would be a lot easier. Especially with today's technology in the fire service, it's easy to put out a fire.
And Here's another one from Bex. If Scotty could choose one person, dead or alive, famous or historical, to meet, who would it be and why?
What is his name? So there was a general. He was a political figure probably 10 years ago.
Schwarzkopf? No, that's longer.
What's that?
Schwarzkopf is what I was thinking, but that's longer ago. That's a long time ago.
A black gentleman. He was a political figure.
Colin Powell?
Yeah, no. Let me Google.
Okay, you Google. We'll come back to that one.
It might be. I'll recognize by face. I actually did a research paper on him in high school, and just the stuff that I learned about him, yes, that's him. I just remember when I did that research paper that he was very admirable, and I really liked what he did, how he operated, and had a lot of respect for him. So that's all.
Larry D wants to know the days of the Clash next year. It should be the same. It's not set in stone yet. There's waiting on a couple things, but it should be the same. 24th?
I think it ends
22nd?
the 24th. Yeah, I think it's 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Okay. Here's Jeremy. My grandfather had the Amish redo the interior of his house. The attention to detail was insane. Oh, gotcha. I'm beyond jelly the people who bought it when he passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, around here we and I don't know that much about it, but around here is always when you have the big jobs to do, that's who to hire, and then you hire usually somebody else to do the little detail stuff. But maybe that's just what a few people have said, and they were wrong. But you definitely know what you're getting when you hire the Amish people to work on your. Before it gets away too, thank you so much, Stephen. He gave us a $5 super chat and said, "Scotty for president."
He's a nice guy. What is
He's all right.
What is Tortorella?
Tortorella?
Tortorella. I'm working my way down in chat. I'm at 736 and reading the whole chat. And they're talking about it, that it would implode. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know either. It sounds like some kind of pasta dish.
Oh, I like pasta.
Okay, we got scrolling back up. It jumped on me. Okay, we already answered Brookley Bells. If you could have any animal, what would it be? Big Shrimpin would like to know.
I want a dog. I am allergic to dogs. I can't have a dog here in the apartment, obviously. But when I buy a house, I want to get a dog. And there's hypoallergenic dogs. I would love a bigger dog. I know I could have a Shih Tzu. My great grandmother had one for me. That's a little ankle biter, But like I think it's a Labradoodle or goat or Goldie Doodle, or I don't know what the hell it's called. But that's a bigger dog that's hypoallergenic. So gotcha. I definitely want a dog for sure.
Me too. And that the one that I was going to get sounds like it is not happening because the guy has never responded to it. So
really? Probably
not getting to it. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but maybe it's a good thing too, because it is a lot bigger than what I was looking for. So let's see. So we're down to 8:00 at Kyle's, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Kyle says, of all the sounds a crow makes, which is Scotty's favorite, and can he demonstrate? I love it. What's up, Keith? I see KJE came in. DD says Ricky used to always ask about the movie. Yeah, that was another one that was standard. He always asked, and we'll go ahead and ask that one. Do you have a favorite movie and or TV show?
Yes. So I don't have cable. I don't have a plugged-in TV. Well, actually, now I can say I have a plugged-in TV because I use it as a monitor for the computer. So I don't watch much TV. I don't watch many movies. Being single, it's kind of boring watching a movie by yourself when you have a busy life. But my favorite two TV shows: Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, of course.
Yeah, I remember you said that. Yeah,
of course. I kind of want to say Chicago PD is in the lead out of the two. There's fake stuff in Chicago Fire that I pick up on very easily, so it's kind of annoying. Chicago PD, while I don't think a lot of that is realistic by any means, it's a lot more fun to watch. Movie-wise, I love the movie SWAT. Really good movie. I like the movie Air Force One and Ladder 49 and Backdraft. You know.
So basically, anything with a fire truck or a cop car in it, you're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get that. I mean, it's been such a big part of your life for so long. That makes sense. I mean, I get it. Dolbeck would like to know bad algae problem or bad computer problem. I know.
I have a bad computer problem every damn day, and it's more annoying than the bad algae problem I have every damn day. So
at least with the algae, you've got an idea of what's going on, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I'll take that any day.
Okay. Dee Dee, we got Dee Dee's question. She asked about the dates for the Clash, and again, not set in stone, but it should be the same weekend as this past one was.
We have the contract. We're working on the contract. The dates on the contract are those dates, but we have not signed the contract yet.
Yeah, not set in stone. And again, cool stuff, man. Just keep your ears open because it's people are going to be very excited when they hear. And
I will say it is my goal to announce the save the date on, I'll say the 6th or the 7th is my goal to announce the save the date.
Okay. Couple of weeks. Yeah,
that's. I would venture to say that is the earliest that we will be able to announce it, because we have a board meeting on the 6th, and that's assuming that the boards don't want to make any changes to the contract. So if the boards want to make a change to the contract, it's going to be after the 6th. And then we're going to have like a special board meeting after that, and blah, 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 blah.
But you've got it down, maybe not to a science, but you've got it down pretty good, and you don't foresee that happening, right?
That they want to make changes? Well, it's very possible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Oh, okay.
You got to figure it. The board members of 2 different clubs, luckily one of them is on both, but the whole group has to agree.
Yeah.
Or at least the majority. It's a majority vote. But it's a lot of work getting that to happen, and especially with our intention to expand this year. And so yeah.
All right. Well, best of luck with.
This is a very stressful, frustrating time every year. Is contract signing time. Yeah. So.
And on that same thing, Big Shrimpin was at the Clash this year, and he did send me an email. He wants to know how he can get involved with helping.
Yes,
He sent me an email about that, and I did promise him we would talk about that tonight.
Send me an email at admin@keystoneclash.com, ADMIN at keystoneclash.com. I'm sure one of Rico's wonderful mods could put that in the chat. Pretty please, with a cherry on top. Anyone that's interested in helping, and send me an email and tell me what you would like to help with.
Yes.
I know one of our biggest needs is set up on Thursday morning and breakdown on Sunday morning.
So setup is like putting up tables. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Set up Thursday morning, starting at like 8 a.m., maybe even 7 or 8 a.m., and that takes us through about noon to 1 p.m. And that we build the fish show racks. That's a lot of work. Building those fish racks is a lot of work, and bringing in all the tanks and putting them on the racks. That's really where our biggest need is putting those things together, getting the tanks on it, and then it starts to get easier as time goes on. We start, putting up the airline and filling the water. But that's the easier part compared to loading up all the tanks, because we had 321 fish show entries this year. That's a lot. And so we basically had 315 tanks that we had to set up. So that is our biggest need. Sunday morning, the earlier the better. The process will probably start Saturday night, late night, and then resume Sunday morning early, breaking down that whole fish show. Again, those are our two biggest needs.
A lot of physical labor that they could use.
Yeah, and I'm allergic to
that. Me too. All right, I'm looking again for
Alishon has wants me to tell a story. He loves it.
Okay. Yeah.
So at my local aquarium, which I'm not going to say on stream, but many know where it is and what it is, the local children in the city like to trespass onto the aquarium property to the outside part, and they in the past have tied a rope to an HVAC component on the roof of the penguin house and swung into the penguin exhibit and gone swimming in the penguin water. The penguins are safe. They get locked up inside the building every night, but it's not really the best water to go swimming in.
Penguin poop.
Yeah.
And stuff.
No, Jeremy, I'm not singing Jigglypuff. That would be Fishymon's job.
Keith is asking, flats or drums?
Clap or drums?
Flats, FLATS, flats or drums?
I don't know what we're talking about. What's a flat? Flats or drums?
I don't know. I thought it was something. Expand on that for us, Keith.
Yeah.
It was probably something we talked about earlier and we just forgot. Who would Scotty consider his biggest influence? That was a weird inflection in his life so far. That's from Bex.
With all love, I hate you sometimes, Bex. Such good questions.
Make you think. Shanners. Hi, Shanners. Hi, Paul.
The biggest influence.
Anybody at the fire hall? Anybody?
That's what I'm thinking. Yes. He passed away last year. He was never an active firefighter in the 22 years I've been there. He passed away at age 88, I want to say. But he was a very successful person in life. He was freaking loaded. And it's not because of the fact that he was loaded that he's my biggest inspiration. but he walked around in raggedy clothing, like usually overalls. He had an older Buick car and an even older pickup truck, stick shift. It was like a 92 or 93 Ford F-150 he rode around in. Had a big house.
You said older, and that just, when you say older, I'm thinking like 50s and 60s, not the 90s.
No. And he was all about, after he retired, he was all about working in his garden, working on the home. He had a little wood shop in the basement. Just a rough looking guy, but the kindest person in the world. He was always willing, and even if I didn't want it, giving advice for my business. I held numerous leadership offices in the firehouse, and different. I was an officer many years, and he gave me advice on that. He was very caring. He'd call and check on me, like if I was in the hospital or anything like that, and gave me a lot of advice in the stock market and stuff like that. And
just a father figure.
Yes, more like a grandfather for sure.
Gotcha.
But I mean, you see this guy in dirty from gardening overalls. Like he'd work in the yard. He didn't go in and change. He wore that shit all day long, stuff all day long. And you would never imagine that how rich this man was. He didn't act like it. He didn't, every now and then messing with me, he'd be on his phone, which he could never operate. He was worse than me with technology. He had an iPhone, and he'd butt dial me all the time. But he'd be helping me with the fund drive for the firehouse, because he used to be in charge of it, and he'd be playing on his phone, checking his bank accounts, and he'd show, he'd be like, look at this, and then quickly take it away. But I'd see more digits in his balance than I ever will have in my life, and he'd give his kids $4,000 a piece for Christmas, but he worked for his money, and he researched for his investments, and until the last month of his life, he was constantly investing, not for him. He wasn't going to get any of this money, and he knew it, but for his family and for his charities that he supported, including the firehouse. He was always giving us thousands and thousands of dollars every year. And, he didn't flaunt it around. You would never know how loaded that man was.
Gotcha.
But he was a very generous, caring person.
Kyle wants to know the last movie you saw in the theaters.
Oh, Jesus. Whew. Ladder 49, probably. And I don't even remember when that was.
I don't even remember the movie.
Yeah.
The name sounds familiar, but that's it.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody can look it up and tell us when it was.
Yeah,
so we know
I'm curious.
How long it was.
I'm curious.
Oinky would like to know your dream aquarium setup, the biggest, the size, plants, everything that's in it. What's your,
Well, my dream is to have a fish room, an actual fish room. I mean, ultimately in life, would I love to have like a 600-gallon? Absolutely. But I think more realistic for my appeal is a setup, my fish room, of like a wall of 60 breeders with a row of 2.5s on a shelf above it, and then another wall with 40 breeders with a row of 5s above it, and then another row with 20 longs with 10s above it.
And it's all killifish.
No. A lot of it is, but not all of it.
A lot of people have come in, and I know I've skipped a whole bunch of people. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm just sort of scanning through. We've got about a half an hour left, and I just want to make sure I get all the questions. So I'm looking for the @RicoStan, so it pops out at me. So if you had any comments or anything you want Scotty to know about or questions, and I didn't ask him, I'm at the 24 minutes past the hour. Stephen P, the 2003 version, his question there. So if you've asked a question before that, I did not see it. Please do the @RicoStan for me, or comment or anything.
I'm working my way down. So if there are any others, I'll let you know. I'm at 7:45.
So yeah, we're quite a bit apart. Steven's got a very good question. This is a really good one. I like this one. How many lost children at the aquarium does Scotty reunite with their parents per year, and how many does he keep?
Oh boy. My record in a day was 8 or 9.
To keep or to reunite?
Reunite.
Okay.
I put them out for sale. I don't keep any of them.
They're all donated.
But there was one. There have been. I almost said there was one. There's been a couple times where it has taken us, not necessarily a kid, but like a special needs adult, for example. It's usually kids though. There have been times where it's taken over an hour for us to reunite a child or a special needs adult with their caregiver. And that's like not just me by myself looking for the person in this huge aquarium. That's state troopers, multiple troopers.
An hour somebody did not realize that this person, maybe they were in a group or something.
So one of the special needs adult situations, the caregiver after the fact, or I shouldn't say, the caregiver came to us an extended period of time after discovering that the person was missing, to let us know. So that time lapse really hurts us when we're trying to find someone. But they waited a bit. I guess they looked themselves first.
Oh, okay.
But if they would have just told us right from the get-go with our technology, our cameras, and our teamwork, we have a plan, a procedure when this happens. We do it every day. But the gentleman had left the property and gone over a mile away in a city. But in one of our conference rooms, I set up a command post for multiple police agencies and worked on reviewing camera footage to track what door he went out, which direction he went out once he left the property. It was because we're right on the Delaware River, it was on the verge of having search boats go in the water. But we were able to identify by watching the cameras that he went the other way, thank God, from the river, and they were able to find him in that direction. There was another time where a child left its parents and followed another family thinking it was his parents or her parents, I don't know which it was, and left the property and went to the parking lot. And then the people were like, "You're not my kid. What are you doing here?" And, yeah.
And this is a good follow-up with this. Bex would like to know, how many times a day do you dream about throwing some of those kids to the sharks?
A lot of times we get large groups like school groups or community groups that come, and I don't blame the kids. I blame the caregivers that just don't do a good job of leading their children, whether it's their own children or their students. And I'd much rather throw the adults in the work.
Gotcha.
For sure.
And again, it's another follow-up from Jenna. She wants to know if you've ever walked the rope bridge over the sharks.
Have I? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's every now and then I have to inspect it myself. for safety. So
2004 was ladder 49.
oh Jesus. That's terrible. I think I've been see, that's the year I graduated. I've been to the movies since then.
It's available on Prolific.
I don't know what movie though. I really don't know.
You don't remember. Yeah. This is a good question too. And this is something, after your own, this is sort of like the live streams that you do on Saturday is all about fish clubs. Big Shrimpin' would like to know what club you're in, the cost, membership, and schedule.
Oh. I am currently vice president of the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County. We meet on the third Saturday, I believe it is, of the month. Membership's like $20, give or take $5. I don't know the exact price off the top of my head. That's my most active club. I am a member of the Cichlid Club of York. If you join at the Keystone Clash, you can do a combination membership and at a discounted rate. I only go to the Cichlid Club of York maybe 2 times a year. It's just a very far drive, and it's a very pain in the butt drive, and a bad day to week for me. I think they meet the first or second Saturday of the month. I am a member of the Diamond State Aquarium Society. I used to be really active in that. I'm not as active with that one as much anymore. They're all around the same cost. They meet on the first Monday of the month, I believe it is. I am extremely active with the Bucks County Aquarium Society. Again, I don't know what the cost is, but it's similar. And
I think it's $35.
Yeah, that sounds right.
A year. I think that's.
Is it that much? Wow.
I think it is. I could be wrong, but I felt like that's what I pay.
And what's that? The second Thursday or third Thursday? Second or third Thursday. It's all.
Alishon knows.
Yeah, it's all in my phone. I just, when I wake up in the morning and see, okay, where am I going today? I'm very active there. I am a member of the Mid-Atlantic Killie organization. They're cheap. I don't know. I don't know how much they.
$20. Alishon said $20.
There you go.
I don't know why I thought it was $35.
And then I think that's it.
I see Garden of Eden came in. I see Ivy came in. I didn't say hi to Channers earlier.
Grant kept me up way too late last night.
I did not watch the replay yet. I have to, so don't, if there's any spoilers.
It was a great time. These streams just keep me up so late. And then, it gets to a point when you're having fun in a chat and you don't want them to catch up in chat, so you just keep on talking in it, even though in the back of your head you're knowing it's just going to delay you going to bed even later, and you got to wake up early in the morning. But it was a fun time.
I don't have to wake up early morning, but I go to bed very early sometimes. But then I wake up. Like last night, I woke up and watched a little bit of a stream, and
I'm already dreading.
I should have stayed asleep.
What is it? When's Streamy McStreamy? Is that tomorrow night or Thursday? Tomorrow
Wednesday
night.
night. Yes, yeah. Tomorrow night.
I'm already dreading it. Like, I'm telling myself, I'm mentally preparing to tell the group that I'm not going to be there for their live stream, but I'm going to watch the replay on Thursday.
Yeah.
Knowing in my head that I'm going to be there for the entire damn thing. And I know Thursday I have a busy day at work. That's when the whole moving the stingrays thing is, And I got to wake up early and I got to be there early. And it's so stressful. That's why I just need to retire and find a rich woman so I can be a stay-at-home fish dad.
And you heard that, McStreamy Crew. He said he's McStreamy Crew. He's dreading it. He's dreading it, he said.
Dreading it.
And we're almost to the bottom here. Let's see. Bex would like to know, what was your favorite moment with Sparkles the Devil at the Clash?
Oh, shit.
And hi, Mike B. Yellowstone. Dolbeck. Hi, everybody.
My favorite memory with the devil at the Clash. The hug goodbye, because it was the most normal thing she did the entire weekend.
That's a good answer.
And the least annoying thing she did. Let me tell you, we were sitting at the award ceremony, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she like starts stabbing me in the side with her finger, like a little annoying sister, you know? Like, yeah.
Did she hit you with her shoe though?
No.
She hit me with a shoe. Just saying. And I've got to. There's a public service announcement that sounds very important. Never ever take a sleeping pill and a laxative together.
Oh Jesus.
Sounds like a really crappy time for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at the P and the 3 next to each other there, or excuse me, the 3 and the 4, the P and the 3. It's so confusing. I can see how Scotty is taller than Fishfam, even sitting down, Mike B says. We are at the bottom of the chat. If anybody has any questions, get them in now. We still got about 20 minutes we can go, but if we don't get any more questions, we'll go ahead and cut it early. I just got the notice. My son he took a test here at home, positive for COVID, but then they went to the clinic just to do the 2-hour one because it's a lot more accurate. And yes, he does. So hopefully that's not going to spread around, and hopefully he passes through it real quick. So,
who is PA Fish and Tanks?
I'm sorry.
Who is PA Fish and Tanks?
Oh,
in the chat.
I don't remember his name, but we did meet him and his son at the Clash. They were there. He said he was the only person there with an English accent.
I don't remember.
I know, that's what I said, and I felt horrible too.
And it's tough because I meet so many people.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to remember everyone.
And
I may recognize a person by face, but I won't remember what their name is.
If Nano Aquarium guy wants to know, if I get lost at the Clash, how long would it take to find me?
I don't have access to their camera, so it would be bad.
I don't think I'll get lost.
No,
that means I'd have to actually be walking around somewhere.
And it's I want to emphasize that, like, while this is a huge aquarium I work at, and at times we fill that place up, but we have procedures in place, and when we can't find someone in 5 minutes, that's when we start to panic, because we have procedures in place. We have every employee in that building has a radio, and as soon as I get the description, I do an all call that overrides every other channel and communication and does an announcement on every single employee's radio with the description. And I have leaders in all the departments that when they hear that, they'll start looking in their areas. I have 3 security guards on property, 2 state troopers, myself, my boss, and other leaders, managers, that we have this whole process. We divide and conquer and search zones, we call them. And, we have 4 zones and 3 people searching every zone. And we can sweep the entire building in 5 minutes. And if we can't find a person in 5 minutes, there's something going on. And that's when it becomes something more abnormal, Yeah. Either there was a 20-minute delay or something.
Let's see. There was one from Keith. Where's that? He wants to know if you're going to the Lehigh swap on the 12th of November.
No.
The last one, I believe, right?
Yes, as far as I know.
And Dr. Awesome wants to know who's on the speakers list for the next Clash, and I know you can't mention that yet.
No, I can't. And Doc, I know you want to come and talk, and we want you to come and talk, and we're going to make it happen. It's not going to be this year. There's so many good people that have reached out to me wanting to talk that I would love to have talk. And it's tough because we need to diversify the topics and the types of presenters and where they're coming from. especially for budget purposes. It is my mission to keep the registration fee as low as possible because I want everyone to be able to attend. That has always been one of my biggest things is I want to enable people to attend that event. And when we start going over $100 in registration, it's hard to do that. And when we start bringing in multiple people from far away, our cost goes up. Last year's speakers, all inclusive, cost us over $4,000. And this year's are going to be more. And we also run out of time in days. There's so many good people out there that are willing, and it's such an honor to have people wanting and willing to come and talk at the Keystone Clash. And this year is my first year being in charge of the speakers. It was scary jumping into it, but it is a challenge for sure, but I'm confident it's going to be successful. And I wish I had more days and more time and more money to be able to get more people to come and talk. Doc Anthony's one of them for sure. Kelly Foreman is another one. There are so many people. Grant, Shelby. I don't want Grant and Shelby to do a joint one. Both of them, can do their own talks because they are that knowledgeable and that smart. But right there, without even putting any thought into it, there's 3 more speakers that we probably aren't going to be able to have this year that I really want to have this year. And it's a stress. It really is.
Well, I'm dying, Scotty. I'm dying.
I know. You know how nervous I am right now that I can't say that they are a definite. It's that. I mean, there is a chance that the ones you know of aren't going to be able to.
You're giving away more than I did. What's your favorite pizza? I'm changing subjects quick. What's Scotty's favorite pizza?
Ricotta, tomato, broccoli, and I hate broccoli.
Broccoli on pizza, I absolutely detest. I like broccoli and potatoes. When we moved to New York and we got a veggie pizza the first time, and it had broccoli and potatoes, and I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you people?" Favorite ice cream? Oh, go ahead.
So I love ricotta cheese. I love pizza. Tomatoes are iffy, but when you put them on you can't just have ricotta pizza. I mean, you could, but you can't go and buy that usually. Usually it's got to come either with spinach or broccoli. So that's the one time you get those 2 greens in my body. No other.
I like spinach. But I'm not that picky when it comes to pizza. That's what we had for dinner tonight. My wife bought it from like a little gas station. It was close to the clinic they had to go to. And it was like $10 for 2 large pizzas, and it was surprisingly good. It was so much better than the stuff we get from like the little mom and pop place that my son used to work at. It was so much better. It was surprising.
And I love
$10.
I love buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah.
Buffalo chicken and barbecue chicken. I love those.
Yep.
My favorite ice cream is, I've been on a kick with it lately, Ben & Jerry's, I think it's called Half Baked. Is that the one that has like the chocolate and the vanilla?
I honestly don't know the names of them. I just eat whatever's in there.
Yeah.
It comes home magically from the store.
I think it's called Half Baked. Matt has a good question here. How do I get to the top of the aquarium? How do you get to the aquariums that are high up? I have step stools and ladders all over my floor here. I'm always smashing my toes into it, and it hurts.
Let's see. So, I'm just, again, we've got about, what do we got? 10 minutes? Yeah, about 10 minutes left.
I'm still an hour behind in chat. Am I really an hour behind?
Kyle wants to know if there's any way to donate to the Keystone Clash to help keep their costs low. Well, that's what those sponsorships that we did last year so much. Well, I mean, it wasn't just Fishfam, obviously, but Lefty did so much, and a few other people did quite a bit. And that's why that's so important. For those the speakers are on there, all the classes are on there, all
Yeah.
that stuff is incredibly important
And
to
this
donate
year,
to.
we just had the night before last a 3-hour Zoom meeting. We are going to have more sponsorship opportunities. It's something we realize we need to do to be able to continue to operate. And so we're going to have more opportunities. I believe we had 4 sponsorship opportunities per speaker this year. We're hoping to have more speakers this year, and we're upping it to 5 apiece because of the cost that we encounter to get them there. The hospitality room, that was a huge expense this year. We're changing it for next year in 2 different ways, a good way and a less pleasing way. But we're increasing the number of sponsorships for that because we need to get more support. Don't get me wrong, we had a ton of support, but for those particular areas, we need more support to be able to function. So stuff like that we're doing just because we have to. And we appreciate any support.
This is, the thing you were talking about, getting up to the top of the aquariums and stuff. Paul Sotera said he brings Fishfam over and uses them as a step stool.
Yes.
Okay. I think this is a good time to Scotty, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you have coming up? Anything that we didn't touch on? Any information you want to give people about your channel, about yourself, about the Clash, anything at all?
Yes. Actually, let me check something real quick.
I know there is something important you wanted to say at the end too. We talked about it. So
I am at 183 subs right now. These little stupid short thingies I've been doing have been helping that number tremendously. If by Saturday I get 200, I'm going to do a giveaway.
And Scotty's link is in the description, but I'm sure mods, if they haven't dropped it recently, please do so. Please drop his link.
And if it doesn't happen this Saturday, the following Saturday. But I am going to do a giveaway when I get to 200. It'll be my first giveaway doing on my channel. And yeah. I don't have a guest yet. If there's anyone who is active in the fish club world that would like to be my guest, email me, please. My email address, I think, is on my Fishfam link profile.
I believe it is. I would love to get Alishon up there. I've asked him for a focus on myself. I know he doesn't. Hey, Guppy Guru. I was just talking about you today, Peter. It's good to see you, buddy. It's been forever. Remember, I was talking about Peter before the stream, and there he is. I haven't seen him in forever. Before the stream even started, I was talking about some of the people that I haven't seen in a long time, and there's Peter right there. So good to see you, Guppy Guru.
Let me think here. So yeah, that's coming up. Anyone that, like I said, that's what I'm saying. Anyone who is active in the fish club world, I'd love to have you as a guest and hear about your club and what you enjoy about it, what you don't like about it. That is the topic of my streams most of the time. It's getting harder and harder to get guests, so I might have to change it. I don't want to, but
Geek Boy says he doesn't really care for his club. I think he'd make a great guest if he wanted to. He's done a couple streams with me, and it's always a pleasure. Eric Wyrock says, I have too many clubs.
Eric was an awesome guest already.
Yeah.
When Steven asked, when can we book the hotel? As soon as the contract is signed. So registration's probably going to open up January 1st. That's usually when we do it. But you'll be able to get the hotel before then. Paul Sotero is going to come to the Clash, he says.
Looking forward to that. He's definitely on my list of people that I really want to hang out with for a while.
Let's see here. I think you already read most of this.
And again, I only really skipped through and was looking for the @Rico stand, so it's possible I did miss a lot of comments throughout that whole section. It's difficult when you want to try and get all of those questions in to skip over some of the normal stuff that I would address, you know.
Yeah.
Real quick too, Fishfam Christmas coming up soon. You know, we definitely could use donations for that still. We've asked for a lot of money from the community over this past, 2 years. So we get it that people maybe can't, do things. But if you know somebody that owns a fish store, maybe wants to donate, a gift card. If you have some in with a company or something and can donate that way, fishfam.link, search for Christmas. You'll see the page with all the information. Could definitely use some help that way. Again, the event runs from December 18th through the 1st of January. A bunch of people are being Santa Clauses and Mrs. Claus and elves this year. We've got, 7 or 8 people on the committee. They're doing a great job, really doing a lot of promotional stuff. Just, thanks so much. They really took it over and are doing amazing. Also, I'm looking for guests for the Focus On. If you haven't been on yet, my email is at the top of the screen there. Please shoot me an email and tell me that you'd like to be on, or it's okay for me to add you to the list. I know some people are like, well, I don't want to say I want to be on, but it's okay. I do have the next 2 weeks scheduled. I think 3 weeks.
Nice.
Anything else then, Scotty? Talked about the stuff I wanted to jump on. I'm all done. I'm all done. I got everything.
I'm at 8:41.
You got to hurry up.
Missed anything?
You got 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll be done by then.
Scotty Claus? Question mark.
I'm better an elf. Fishymon was in here speaking of elves.
Craig Doniger, yes. Send me an email. Send me that email. I need an email from people so I can add it to the schedule and everything. And again, there is no requirements for the Focus On. It's pretty much anybody who's a decent human being. Anybody who's just not been a dick to me personally or just a bad person and done stupid things. I want to interview. So. Everybody and anybody, just email me. Thank you, Bex. My standards are very low. Geek Boy's been on, so that pretty much anybody is available.
MedCow asked about swaps in Lower Bucks County. Is Lower Bucks County its own special place, or is that like the lower section of Bucks County? Because if it's Bucks County, the Bucks County Aquarium Society, where Alshon and I are members of, we meet on the third Thursday, I think it is. And we always have a little mini auction every meeting. And we normally have an annual auction that is absolutely huge. You can see on Scott from King and Queen Cichlids. He's highlighted in videos. And Michael's Fish Room has also highlighted that auction in videos. There we go. Alshon answered it. I found it. Kelly Foreman. She's amazing. Came in late, but if it's a budget thing, I would waive my fee and pay my way.
Scuba Steve, you're actually not on that list unless you send an email to me just recently. Again, I've been mentioning this a lot over the streams over the last couple of weeks. I wiped the list out. So if you've previously, before like 2 weeks ago, I took that break. I took a month off just to, recharge my batteries and stuff. If you have not sent me an email since that time, you're not on the list. I currently have about 6 people. Hold on. Yeah, I have 6 people on my list right now. So if you have not sent me an email recently, like within the last couple of weeks, then yeah, there's the people I have. I'm just going to tell their names. I'm sure they don't mind. Gina's Reef.
Ooh.
Gina's coming up soon. Dolbeck. Dolbeck was on the old list for like a year or two. I felt horrible for that. Kyle, who is next week. Our buddy
really?
Snoochie Booch.
Ooh.
Snoochie Booch. And Snoochie Booch, there's somebody out there, I guess, impersonating Snoochie Booch, I guess, today. Or I don't know if it was a joke or not, but because I know, Steven and Ryan are messing around that way. They've got those names. But I think Richard, somebody was impersonating him. So just, I don't know. Sarah Sieber and Brennan, Misfit. That's all I have currently on my list. So if I didn't say your name, you're not on there. So please send me an email if you would like to be on the focus on, and we'll get you included.
Guppy Guru, what do you guys charge for yearly fees? What event are you asking about it? Are you asking about the Keystone Clash or a club meeting? If you're still here.
He was taken off, I think. He might still be here.
So I'm almost.
And there's Kenny too. Kenny said, how did I get on there if you have standards at all? Because it's you, Kenny.
I'm at 8:57. I'm almost there, Rico.
You're a minute over now. We're going a minute over. Bentley and Eric are live right now.
Oh, crap. I'm almost there. I'll scroll faster. First Thursday. Sorry. All right. Thanks, Scotty. Hello. There's Kenny E. Oh, Bentley's notification just interrupted me. Let's see here. Got to bounce. Oh, yeah, there he goes. He left. Okay. 9:01. Either, just wondering so people could become members to help pay for the club items. So Guppy Guru, the Keystone Clash is probably going to be $100. Cheaper for the early bird special. And the club meetings are like 20 or 30 bucks. I'm done. Rico, we can end it.
Well, now we got to go another hour because we ran over the top of the hour. So now we got 58 minutes to go.
Can I get another beer first?
Actually, you have something else you need to do first because we do need to end it. But
yeah, let me know when you're about to hit the button.
Okay, it's ready, but I won't click it.
Do you have any goodbyes to say or anything?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Next. Did you see how he cut out caw? There you go. That's funny. We'll see you guys. Bentley, Eric Furlow are live right now. You guys go, hang out with some of them, show that Fishfam love, and we'll see you guys later.